What's happening, people? Welcome back to another episode of Red Divided. Myself, Tommy.
You go out of here.
You got myself top of the table, Ham. What's happening, people? Had a week off, but I'm glad to be back. What's happening?
Cool. What's happening, people? Obviously, as Ham said, we had a week off for obvious reason, due to the passing of the Queen, and as a result, obviously, there was no Premier League game. So, yeah, we're back.
Even if there was, I wouldn't have been able to. I've been crying at home for 1 week. So
you've been mourning,
hard
yeah?
for me to join. Sorrowful.
Okay. That's good. That's cool. What's happening,
Rest in peace to Lizzie, though, man. Big Liz. Yeah. Rest in peace. Big Liz. My G. Rest in peace.
What's been happening? Not much football games, though, isn't it? So, there's
been bare football for me, bro. I don't know about maybe for other people, but there's been bare football for me, bro. And watching all the European leagues, the other European leagues, they didn't stop. They didn't stop because of the Queen passed away.
Yeah.
Serie A's lit. The French league is lit.
Bayern's been flopping, fam.
Bayern's being floppy. Messi's moving like a madman in France. The Spanish league is lit. The two young boys at Real Madrid, Tchouaméni's playing like a madman. It's lit. Just the Premiership, but don't worry about the Premiership, man.
Just the firm. And then the Italian league is quite interesting because everyone just beats everyone nowadays. Even Napoli
league is lit, man.
Yeah, going away
Atalanta
from home.
went top and then Napoli overtook them.
Yeah, Napoli going away from home and Atlanta going top. And was it Atlanta lost a couple games earlier on, isn't it? Was there a game or so?
No, I'm not sure if they lost.
No, I think Atlanta are unbeaten. I think they've won 5 and 7.
I don't think
they've won 5 and 7. Yeah,
they got 17 points. They're joint top with Napoli.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they got 5 and 7. Shout out to the brother though, the left winger at Napoli. I'm never gonna be able to pronounce his name. I think he's from Georgia originally.
That's it. That's the one I was telling you.
Moving nuts, bro.
Against Liverpool.
Moving nuts still. Yeah, moving mad.
I think I was on the phone with you out there, right, when it was playing Liverpool, and I said, "This guy
Liverpool,
mad, yeah." Doing well.
A shout out to his story as well, because obviously that Ukraine and Russia war affected him. Because I think he moved from Georgia to Russia, but then obviously because of the war or something, he had to go back home and then come back. And Napoli was able to get him for a cut fee because of the whole palaver with the war and his club. So they're able to get him a cut fee. So you know when they sell him, they're making a fat profit on him. Because if he keeps performing like this, he ain't gonna stay there.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Let's just go straight into it. We're gonna start with not an exciting way to start the show, but you don't have no other choice. Let's go into your game against Brentford yesterday.
Oh, sorry. Caught me unawares. I thought we were gonna start with United in Europe. Ronaldo getting his first goal.
No, we go with your boys. So, your boys made easy work of it yesterday. To be honest, and Brentford are not a bad team. I don't know. I think a lot of people say it was like a bad performance by Brentford, but I just say it was just Arsenal just shot them down. It wasn't even a contest, to be honest with you. It honestly wasn't a contest. And I was speaking to Adi. I thought I had a feeling that Brentford might beat you, but I didn't know Partey was back. But then when I realized Partey was back, then I thought, okay, you know what? I was speaking to Tokes that that's not going to happen because Partey was so important to how Arsenal plays, and he was so good yesterday as well, and just showed, didn't it? So I just thought, no, they're not going to beat Arsenal. Well, I'll be honest, I initially thought they might be, but yesterday you guys made easy work of it. So yeah, what's your thoughts of it? The game itself.
Yeah, like you said, we made easy work of it. Probably going into the game, it's Brentford away, lost to them 3-0. Everyone made a massive deal about it. It was a massive deal, wasn't it? First game of the season last year. Lost 3-0. So obviously you're coming. But obviously we beat them in the return leg at home. But obviously this is the first time we're playing them again since we lost 3-0. And it couldn't have gone better. It was a perfect day, perfect performance. Everything that could go right for your team, as the players, as the manager, as the fan. Everything was right. Everything. We could have scored underneath a minute with the Martinelli chance, but he slips, doesn't score, and that was a good sign. But obviously, because it's Brentford away, and you're thinking, I didn't know until after the game, Brentford haven't lost in like 17 London derbies or something mad like that.
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah. So it's even more impressive with what we've done. I'm never going to look at it
as
at
home,
Brentford.
not away. What, at home?
Yeah, I don't know if it's at home or away.
It's got to be at home. I just know the record was like
away from home. So so it must be. Yeah. But it was made it even more impressive. I'm never going to look at it and be, oh, it's just Brentford. No, it's not just Brentford. Brentford are a good side. They turned over United 4-0, slapped them up. So that's that. I mean, United ain't a joke team. So going there, you're thinking, okay, cool, we got to put in a performance. And if we play like how we've been playing all season, we should win. But it is Brentford, and they still got Ivan Toney up front. They still got the long balls from the throw-ins. They're still dangerous from set pieces. So it's still going to be a game that you're going to have to fight. But if we play how we play, then we should win the game. That was my thoughts towards the game. And we did exactly what we've been doing all season. But that was our best performance of the season because it wasn't for 45 minutes. It wasn't for 70 minutes like at Old Trafford. It wasn't for a half and a bit. It was for 90 minutes. I only remember my goalkeeper making one save. Ramsdale made one save in the second half. Other than that, didn't see him in the first half. And I love it when I don't see my goalkeeper because that means we're keeping the ball in the other half and doing what we're supposed to be doing. And when you watch the game, you're thinking, all right, everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Saliba at the back, triple C's, keeping Toney quiet. I don't think Toney got much service, but he couldn't get service because we had the ball for most of the game. I thought Thomas Partey, like you said, but Thomas Partey didn't come out of second gear for me. That's just Thomas Partey just saying, oh, I just come back from a thigh injury. Let me just play a bit of football today. And that's him in second gear. I thought the person next to him was our man of the match. I thought Granit Xhaka was one of the best I've seen him play for us. Off the ball, on the ball. I see him chasing lost causes. He was quality on the ball as well. Fabio Vieira comes in for Odegaard. I'm thinking, obviously, I'm one of Odegaard's biggest fans. Odegaard's not playing cool. How does Fabio look? But he looked good in the Europa League game. And he didn't start off great yesterday. First half was a bit shaky, but second half the goal. And if Odegaard plays, Odegaard doesn't shoot. He doesn't. But Fabio does. So when I say perfect day, your new number 9 scores with a header. Great. Your centre-back that you had for like 3 years, learned him out. He comes back, he scores. And then the new signing that you get, Fabio Vieira, who's kind of under the radar, 35 million, he scores. And then you bring on a 15-year-old to make his debut, Ethan. And he's the youngest player ever played in the league. So it was a perfect day. And like I said, Granit Xhaka, who hasn't been a fan favourite, he wears the armband and he puts in a man of the match performance for me. Some other people might say, oh, people are man of the match. But it's a perfect day, perfect performance. For me, that's the best we've played all season. And long may it continue, man. Long may it continue. And Brentford ain't a bad side. Brentford won't be getting beat 3-0 at home a lot. And if they do, they won't get beat by a team that's going to pummel them for the whole game, which is what we've done. Because mostly if they do lose at home, maybe, I don't know, the other team, maybe a couple set pieces, but it's probably only us and City.
They said it yesterday anyway. They ain't lost more than they haven't lost to that by that margin since 2017 or something like that. They said it yesterday.
But mine isn't more the margin though. Mine is the performance that we put in there and how we played there and how it's Arsenal and we went there and stamped how we want to play. And like I say it all the time. How we're playing now and how we're playing under Arteta is how I want to see football play. I don't know about anyone else, but how I want to see it, with everyone being involved. My goalkeeper being just as good with the ball as my centre forward, so everyone's comfortable with the football. Everyone can play football, and the rotations were beautiful yesterday. So I don't think Brentford will get beat 3-0 like that. Maybe only City will go there, maybe Liverpool. But so it's impressive from us. It's impressive. And shout out Arteta because whatever he's doing with the boys, he's definitely getting through to them. We had like 10 days off from the United game. And obviously everyone wants us to bounce back. Everyone wants to see, can they, or will they go, will they lose 2 or 3 in a row? And whatever they're doing on training is definitely working because, like I said, top performance, best performance for the season, and long may it continue. We got Tottenham next. So cool. I don't really care too much about our performance. Just get the 3 points. Don't lose a derby. Well, obviously, I want us to play well, innit? But 3 points. But yeah, man, brilliant.
You're at home
I couldn't be any happier. Right? Say that again.
Yeah,
we're at home.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit anyway. And hopefully, we'll get Chris on for that show. It would be nice to, because both of you are actually, obviously, they're not playing as well as you, but both teams are playing well, good form.
Yeah, one's playing well, one's playing shit, but they're getting points.
Yeah, they're getting the points. I wouldn't say they're playing exactly shit, but they're just not what. To be honest, that's what you like. They're not. I said it earlier in the season. Obviously, I think we went back and forth about it. I didn't really expect much from like a Conte team. I know we said in the Italian league, it was a lot more imposing on his opposition in the Italian league, but I don't really expect much from Conte. That's how Spurs play now. Is how I expect them to play, and I still get wins. So that's the whole point in terms of the conditions of his players. That if you watch pre-season, getting them to run up and down, he wants them to suffer. That's what he wants. That's what Conte wants. And then able to count teams in the counter. And fortunately for him, they have the quality to do that. But we'll talk about that game another time. But Adam, what are you saying about
The Arsenal game.
the Arsenal game?
Yeah, so I was out during the match, out hustling as always. So obviously on the radio, I just kept hearing that Arsenal are dominating.
Yeah.
And like wherever I turned it to, the emphasis was just how great Arsenal were playing. So I was thinking, oh shite, like this is real. Obviously got home, watched the extended highlights, and obviously I could see what they were talking about, but because I didn't watch the whole match, I couldn't enjoy it to the full extent. But just little bits that I did see, I thought was amazing. Like the play, the triangles that they were playing, like the dedication in winning the ball back, Xhaka's assist, like, you know, when you're watching something, as soon as I saw it,
Oh,
like
what a ball!
you know, when you just sit normally. As I saw the ball, all the muscles in my body just relaxed. I was just like, ooh, because that ball was just perfect.
Like,
Like,
perfect.
even if you can't header the ball, you're gonna score. Like the ball gives you the goal. It was just too perfect. And yes, along that view that I've had for the whole season is that they're playing well and they're enjoying their football. But you can see it from them. They're actually enjoying themselves. Xhaka, I thought he was amazing. He played like he was playing for another team, basically, like a different player in a different team. The way he showed like proper maturity yesterday. Proper
Apart from the
maturity.
end though, when they got a stupid yellow card again. But
Yeah, but that's standard him. That's
yeah.
he cannot change completely. But yeah, I thought they played really well. I think they play fantastic football. They've got numbers now as well. So where someone gets like a little injury, they can bring alternatives in, like Tierney. Basically, he's a backup left back, but on any given day, you still take him as your first choice. So they've got
Big
alternatives
facts.
that can do the job as well, and I think that's going to be the big part this season. Whereas last season they ran out of steam because of the injuries. I think they're better equipped this season, so it'll be quite interesting to see how long they can go for. Hopefully, when they play Spurs, Son scores 10, demoralizes them. They lose 10 in a row, and we move from there. But yeah, you have to give credit where it's due.
That's not going to happen, but I hear you, bro.
Well.
Yeah, no, 100%. I've got a bone to quickly pick with you guys, both of you. Remember when we was arguing about Fred and Xhaka? Can we put that to bed now, please?
Why?
When you say you guys say Fred is better than Xhaka?
No, but what?
No,
what
can
are
we
you
put it to
basing this
bed?
on?
Just
No,
pure
my question
quality.
is always
it's pure quality. That is pure.
no, but what are you basing? No, but over what length?
Because
I can't accept if you're saying it.
Even if you was to say from when Arsenal got Xhaka to when we got Fred, he's done more for Arsenal than what Fred has done for us. But even put that aside. Okay, just talk about the quality alone. When I say Fred, when I'm comparing both of them, who's the better player?
Xhaka's a better player, 100%.
Yeah, that's my point.
But I like to make sure there's a reference point.
Yeah, no. But I think in terms of the argument we was having before, it was just basically who was the better player. And I think I can understand people questioning Xhaka's temperament. Like he makes stupid decisions, but him as a footballer, it's hard to question that. That is, and I know I'm not just saying this because of his side of the world this season. It's probably one of Arsenal's better players this season. But he's always shown that quality. Not even just in Arsenal, he shows it what's his national team called? Switzerland. He's always shown that. So that's why, like, but for him, he's an idiot, isn't it? Like Xhaka, okay, sorry to call him an idiot, but it's just his stupid decision making that causes like Arsenal a lot of the times when you don't need it. Like yesterday, for example, what he did, you're winning 3-0. Like what's like the keeper's about to kick the ball up. Where's the ball gonna go? Like you got your centre backs winning all the ball. Like Abertoni hasn't had no.
He's showing the fans that he's dedicated.
Yeah, it's just little silly things like that. I think that's what really lets his game down. But I think the boy is I'm not going to say top quality, but he's a good player, and he's shown that so far this season. I don't know how long he's going to keep up for before he does something stupid again. But with him, is like he can do 10 good things and then do one to eradicate all the good things that he's done, basically. And that's him for you. But yeah, no, I echo everything you guys said about the game. I was just like, literally, I was sitting in front of my TV. I just had a sad face on all game. But obviously, it was a great game, though, isn't it? Like, sometimes you got to appreciate like, great football, and that I appreciate, because I didn't even change it, because like, a lot of the times I get so pissed off, I would just change this team's winning. But I actually appreciate the football they're playing. Do you get what I mean? So I want to watch it. I want to see how they're playing. Like now, as Ham said, like everyone is just like, it was almost like the perfect game. Just they was just doing from like the get-go that, and the signs were there from the first 30 seconds or whatever it was when Martinelli had that chance. I was pissed off though, because if anyone's got to score for them, it has to be someone in my fantasy team. So I was pissed off when he didn't score that.
Big up Saliba and Jesus for me.
Big
Thanks,
up
boys.
Saliba and Jesus.
Yeah, so I was pissed off when they didn't score. But yeah, no, the game was just too easy for them, man. And it just got to credit Arsenal, because Brentford is not an easy team to beat, like especially when Brentford is at home, and how easy they made it look. No, honestly, it's just now credit. As I said, I'll wait until yesterday. Had me thinking, okay, maybe they're definitely going to make top four now, but I'll wait until around after World Cup to just, and then I'll see where they at around that time, and then I'll change my pick by January, I reckon. I'll change my pick. All right. Obviously, we're talking about Arsenal, the North London. Let's move to the other side of North London, the real North London team. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about. Let's just go straight to it. There's been a lot of talk about Son, which I find silly. I think we talk about it here all the time. Like football's reactionary nowadays, isn't it? Everyone asking for them to drop him. Everyone talking about it. You know, as soon as something's not going right for a short period of time, everyone feels like they have, the reasons behind it. Oh, it's because of Richarlison. Because Richarlison is pressuring him. Maybe he's feeling the pressure. Just such silly stuff. Like, bro, the guy's not going to become a bad player overnight. See what I mean? Like, yes, he's had a bad start to the season. We expect more from that. So, but it's not going to become a bad player overnight. And that's one thing they're going to realize. And boy, did he show it? You know what I mean? Did he not? He came on and scored two like spectacular goals.
Spectacular goal.
Like out of nothing. And then obviously ended up topping up with Patrick. What you say? I know he's your boy, Addy, so I'll get you stuck off with him.
Nah, as I said, like I love Son. I think it was the beginning of last season or the season before where I was saying, actually, it's a discussion can be had as to whether or not he's their top player. Because when Kane's injured, he still does his job. Last season, he did the job when Kane was there. When he wasn't there, his ability, you can't argue with it. And it's the variety of goals. I can still remember one he scored against Arsenal, that like similar to what he scored against Leicester with the right foot, but I think it was further out. Like the boy's good. He's good. He's a hard worker. He's got the mobility. Yes, but the way the media is now, even if you're playing fantastic football on the pitch, if you're not getting your stats, it's an issue, right? It's not as if we've played 6 months or a year. You haven't done a Dele Ali type of thing. It's just started off the season slow in terms of goals, and perfect opportunity for him yesterday, and he did it in fantastic fashion. Because one of those goals is amazing. To do two of them right foot and left foot in the same game.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Right. That's just how good you are. You're not only doing that with your right, you're doing that with your left. That's it.
Left. And it's not a fluke, because it's not the first time, second time he's done it. So it's not a fluke. So I'd like to see what he's gonna add to that Spurs team now that he's up and running. Hopefully he doesn't go back on a dip, because it's possible. Like, I'm not going to get excited and say, oh, he scored a hat-trick. He's going to run with it now.
Yeah, he's going to get 23 goals again like last season.
Shit happens. So hopefully he doesn't dip again and just runs with it, because it will be nice, especially for that North London derby, if everyone is firing. That will be a quality spectacle. Apart from like the Arsenal City game, which I'm looking forward to at some point in time, that's going to be probably one of the biggest spectacles we've had this season. Onto Arsenal play Man City with way everyone's playing football.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
good to see you, son. Glad to have you back. Score
Yeah,
5 in time.
you just touched on Son too, but if you can, we're gonna obviously go into like the North London derby once they return back from like international. But just a quick like preview of what your thoughts are going into like the North London derby with both teams. But just touch on Son first.
Yeah, no, I thought so. I didn't the decision to drop him, I was cool with that. I thought Conte done the right thing there. I think he hasn't started the season right for whatever reasons. And I think it was good management for Conte to say, you know, I'm gonna pull you out the side. Whether that's because Conte doesn't feel his performances are up to scratch, or maybe just Conte said, you know what, just come out of the limelight, innit? There's a lot of talk around you, so just sit down. Richarlison's good impact player. Kulusevski, bruv, that boy. The fact that he's 22, I love him. I liked him before. I thought he was much older than that. I'm not gonna lie, but the fact that he's 22, but I think that boy is class. So I think with them two either side of H, you can let Son sit down for a game at home to Leicester, who are absolutely shite at the moment, although they played well in the first half.
Maddison gave a good account of himself.
Yeah. But so I thought it was good by the manager. But then what was even better, and what Conte would love more than I would, is the reaction that he comes on and gets a hattie, and it's a lovely hattie. And what I love more is I like the intangibles, the little things in football. He don't celebrate the first goal. So he knows that I ain't been performing well. And I watched one of his interviews where he said, I feel like I let the fans down. I feel like I let my manager down. I feel like I let the players down. You can see from Son, he's an emotional player, and he's very, I'm saying. So I love that reaction that, and he wasn't like, look to the bench. You know, some players will look at the bench and like point their finger to the manager or gesture to the manager or something, like, you dropped me, how dare you? Son was just like, I deserve to get dropped, but guess what? I'm still the second baddest player on this team, you know, after H. And Ade would say he's the first. So I thought that was lovely. I thought, like I said, so round of applause all round. Round of applause for Conte for dropping him and having the balls to drop him. A round of applause for Son for reacting how every manager and every fan wants their play. If Jesus ain't playing well for me and he gets dropped, for Eddie, when Jesus does come back, I want him to slap. I wanted to do a madness and show
I shouldn't. That's why you have the competition. That's why you have the competition.
100%. And that's why the signings were good from Conte this year, because if Højbjerg has a dip in form, who I think is a top midfielder for them, Basuma's going to come in and Basuma's going to play well, and Højbjerg's going to have a fight on his hands to get back into the team. So for Sonny, I thought, well done for him. And he's a top player. I love Sonny, and he's one of my favorite players because of the left foot, right foot thing. The fact that he goes left foot, right foot for me is like, I think it's a given that every player should be able to use their weaker foot. I hate seeing people like, obviously I love Robin van Persie, but watching Robin, if you take him to his right, he can't do nothing. Iron Robin, lovely player, but if you take him to the right, can't really do nothing. So I love a player like Son who take him. If you're a defender, Tom's a defender, and Tom knows that he stands on the winger's strongest foot. So he forces the winger to go on his weakest foot. That's the best way to defend. But if you're defending against Son, he can go left foot, right foot. And the fact that he's a finisher puts him above all the wingers that we like a Saka, Martinelli, Sancho, Rashford that play for you lot. Bundle them lot when it comes to Sonny. Because that man ain't slapping it left foot and right foot Sonny can, bro. I will take Sonny. I love Martinelli and I love Saka, and I'll take Sonny over both of them. Because with the thing with Son is, I don't see him much in games, but give him half a chance or a full chance, I trust him more than any of the wingers that I mentioned. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take someone that's going to get me 20 goals over a winger that might get me 5 goals and 7 assists. And when he shoots, I'm like, okay, he's probably not going to go nowhere.
Because as soon as there's a break, if it's a Son, you're like, actually, there's a high chance.
But there's a higher chance, Like, I genuinely, whenever we play Spurs, I am genuinely afraid of him. Now, the good thing about Sonny when we play them is he don't really play well against us, especially at the Emirates. He don't really play well against us. So that's a good thing. However, that doesn't make it that October the 1st and we're playing them at home, I'm going to still be very, very scared of him coming against, whether it's Ben White or Tierney or Zinchenko, whoever he's coming up against. I'll be very scared of him because, like I said, top player, man. And that's for the North London derby. I think it'll just go to script. I think we'll play better than them. We'll probably have 60 to 70% of the ball, and they'll do what they do, which is try and use their wing backs, because we only play 4 at the back. We're not going to change our tactics for them. So they'll try and overload there, and they'll try and hit us on the counter. It won't be too dissimilar to how United played against us. So the good thing for us and the good thing for Arteta is we can work on that. So we can work on where we went wrong against United, because pretty much I can't see Spurs come into the Emirates and trying to bop off the pitch. They won't do that. They're not better than us when it comes to playing football like that. So we got to make sure that we take our chances. We'll get chances because, like you saw, Leicester had many chances yesterday. And I think Brighton went there and had many. So a lot of teams have played them and will have many chances because Tottenham aren't playing well at the moment. yes, they're getting their point. They're not playing well. So what we got to do is, when we do get in front of goal, take our chances and go 2-3-0 up, and then kill the game off. I think it'll be a good game because, like I said, I think what we on 18 points and they're on 17 or something.
Yeah.
And I think they're unbeaten. Obviously, we lost to you lot, but they're unbeaten. So yeah. And with me, I'm always happy to split when it comes to you guys, Tottenham. We win our home games, lose away from home, we shake our hands. See you next season.
Yeah. No. So yeah. No, that game will be interesting. I think Ade obviously summed it up earlier in terms of like that's probably be the biggest highlight of the season in terms of like games so far. Like United, Liverpool, I don't think. Yeah, like it was always going to be a big game, but we were both struggling anyway, so it wasn't so much of a big deal. I think it's slightly different when other side of the spectrum. Normally, when both of you are playing, like, fighting for top four, or one team's not playing well, the other one is. But like both teams are playing well at the moment. If might not be the perfect football by Spurs, but both
they're getting the job done.
They're getting the job done again.
Yeah.
Like hopefully, like international doesn't, no one gets injured. That we get everyone on the pitch together and see who's like the best team in North London. That's just for that game, innit? So, but now because you win it, I'm sure with them they'll take the draw. But you say with Arsenal, you want to take that.
Yeah, we got to take the 3 points. Yeah, we got to take the 3 points.
So I think that's where they're going to try and frustrate you. They're going to like be more than happy to go there and get that point and sit back, tight, compact, and then obviously they've got Son. And Kane left foot up there, Kane up there, and if one of them is not working, Richarlison to bring on.
Yeah, Richie will come off the bench 100%.
So I think what's important in that game is you are going to dominate the game, but you have to score your chances. It can't be like the United game that you just have to score your chances. I think that's where the difference will be because the defense is all right, but see what Sanchez was doing yesterday on Saturday. What's the matter with that guy, honestly? So yeah, they can easily get caught up. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
cool. So there wasn't that much game though, but should we touch on any other game? Because there's a few things that we need to cover up. Because we haven't been, obviously it's been 2 weeks now. What?
Yeah, no, we got to touch on Leicester and what's going on with Rodgers and everything there.
Yeah, we'll get back to Leicester. What's the games like? What games were there? Oh, you know what? Let's touch on Brendan now. Actually, let's touch on Brendan now, and then we'll go back to the others because obviously
they're going at their kickoff.
There's not that much games. Because you kick off because obviously you pretty much thought that we struggled this season. We discussed that at the beginning of the season. Me and Ham obviously had our reasons to think why we thought they will still compete for like top 6, but you wasn't convinced at the beginning of the season. So what are your thoughts on it now?
Boy, I did not think the issue was going to be this big. It's massive now. I think they're struggling. And you know how football is that once you're in that rut, it just continues. And the longer it takes you to break it, the harder it's going to be. Against Spurs, obviously, I was even surprised it got to 2-2. Right? The final score was probably the score line that made sense. But when it was at 2-2, you're like, how is this happening? Then you're thinking maybe they can steal something. But the errors that were made, horrific. Indidy's error for Bentacle's goal. Come on, guys. Yes.
James Justin gets caught on the ball for Son's goal.
It's poor. These are basic errors that they shouldn't be making. Another big thing, which I don't know how big a part it plays, but they need to get a better keeper.
Oh, bruv. That's a given,
bruh, because it's
I
not
think
even
just... I think my man's a semi-professional still. I think my man's a semi-pro still. I don't think my man's a full professional still.
He's the closest thing I've seen to a semi-pro in the Premier League.
A big man thing, I think he's a semi-professional, bro. I don't think he's a professional footballer.
because the issue is not just your ability to stop goals, right, as a goalkeeper, as your position. Now everyone in the team, including the people in front of you, are worrying. They have to worry about what you're doing. So if they've got a mind on what the frick the keeper's going to be doing while they're playing, that causes some uncertainty as well. So yeah, it's hard to see Brendan finishing the season with them if this continues any more than to be honest, they need points in the very next game.
Yeah,
If they don't,
100%.
like if I'm honest, I won't be shocked if he leaves during
During the international break.
international break. But if he's still there, probably got 1 or 2 games. Got 1 point at this stage of the season. It's a bit tough. It's a bit tough, but obviously for him,
that's the first game of the season, like that point against Brentford.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because they've lost 6 in a row.
I know.
worse.
The next. You know what? The next game is one of those managers are getting sacked. Guaranteed.
Ain't in Forest, Tom?
Forest, yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah, are they at home? Is Leicester at home?
Yeah, Leicester's at home. One of them's getting sacked.
No, Brendan needs to win. They ain't sacking Forest manager.
No, I'm telling you, if one of them lose and they don't get, I'll be surprised if they don't get sacked. One of them is getting sacked. I honestly believe one of them losing that game, one of them gets sacked. Because I think it just boils down to the point that you're making. It's just the longer you're in that hole, the harder it is to come out. And then you just don't want them, you don't want the place to sink in a sense that it will be so hard for the next manager to pick them back up. So you just they can't keep digging that hole, bro. That game I don't think those 2 managers now are gonna have sleepless night until that game.
Yeah, I think Nottingham Forest can afford to lose. I think Leicester can't, because then the gap.
But then the thing with Nottingham Forest, it's the teams that they're losing to. They're losing the teams that
they should beat.
Not one so much should beat, but teams that probably will be competing with you for relegation. Do you know what I mean? So those points, those points are important. Like you was 1-0 up against Fulham. I think I was with you.
2-0 up against Bournemouth.
2-0 up against Bournemouth. I wasn't even surprised. I was telling him that he's going to go. But I'm guessing, like you said, that the owner is going to be patient. But I will find it hard if he gets past that game. That if he beats Leicester, then Brendan's in trouble. But
because when I look at it, I look at the points. And I'm like, the owner should look at it and say, we're not last. Won 4 points. We win 1 game. We got 3 or 4 places. Right? It's not until a gap starts creating, then I'm like, okay. Because Leicester, if Nottingham Forest beat them, Nottingham Forest are 6 points above them. That becomes an issue.
But it's just the game that the team that Forest are losing to more than anything. And I think that's what makes it more difficult for them. But
But interesting times ahead, though.
Yeah, it's still a long time to go. Anyways, it's still a long time to go. And the thing with Leicester is, it's as hard as it is to say, they do have the quality to stay up. So they definitely have the quality in the team. They just need to change their fortune. The players just needs to get some confidence from somewhere. That's all. I think that's all it takes.
Yeah, hopefully everyone's not checked out though. Manager and players. Then they're in trouble.
What are you saying about Brendan?
No, I like Brendan, man. I'm a massive Brendan fan, fam. I think Brendan's a top coach. Every time I like watching these teams play, from Swansea to when he was at Celtic. Don't really watch Celtic that much, but obviously he won the treble with them. So obviously he must have been doing something right down there. Won the FA Cup with Leicester. I think a couple top 6 finishes with them as well. Bringing through good players. James Justin, Maddison's got better underneath him, and Didi, Johnny Evans, top centre half, Kasper Schmeichel, who they lost. So I like Brendan. I like how his teams play. I just think obviously them not backing him this year that's a travesty. I mean, Brendan's a good manager, brother. Leicester they're there. They're on the cusp of a top 6, top 7. Like maybe they can turn themselves into a European team every season. So I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what their finances are saying, but I personally wouldn't want Brendan to get sacked from there. I think Brendan can still turn it around at Leicester. I think the good thing for Brendan is it's early. And I'm speaking as an Arsenal fan. I mean, we started our season last year, 3 games, 3 losses, brother. And now look, us stuck with the same manager. And obviously, we're different to Leicester, but we stuck with our, but the ethos is we stuck with our manager and he got us through the rot, and you see how we're playing now. And I think the Leicester owners just got to be patient, let him work, get the players on the training pitch. There's encouraging signs from the Tottenham game. First half, they were good. Tottenham scored both their goals from that set pieces or something. And Leicester's goals were good goals. Obviously, one was a penalty. Maddison's goal was really good. They had other chances in the second half. So there was good signs. Even Maddison said it in the interview as well. Like, you know, you could see the 6-2 might have flattered Tottenham. But yeah, overall, I think Brendan should be given time, and I think he's a top coach. And even if they do sack Brendan, I think Brendan will get another job. I think I think in the footballing world, people do appreciate Brendan as a coach and getting players, whether the players are 6 out of 10, getting them to be an 8 out of 10 player, whether they're a 7, getting them to be an 8.5. Like Tillemans has got better underneath him, so I think he's a good coach, and I think Leicester should. Think if that's for Nottingham Forest, bro, I could care less, bro. That man got like 23 players or something, bro. Let them. I'm just waiting for the. I want them to get relegated. I'm just waiting for the drama. I just want to see the players say, "Yeah, I'm out." What was my contract saying? What's the small print? One year. Nah, I'm not playing the championship. Because they just got Tommy's older brother, Serge Aurier. They just got him on a free. They just got him on a free. I saw him in the stadium watching the game. I'm like, please don't tell me they signed him.
When they say your cousin's not was starting no more, Jesse.
Bro, Jesse was on the base the other day.
No, Jesse didn't go there for footballing reasons.
Bro, but my uncle scored though. Taiwo, I will need. Uncle scored though. You got uncle still.
Cool. Yeah, and I was I'm with you, Ham. Obviously, like they're doing bad, but they might sack. I don't think it's beyond sacking, but I hope they just don't sack him. I'm only hoping they don't sack him. Honestly, I don't think it's beyond sacking. Like managers get sacked all the time nowadays, man. So I just hope they don't sack him because I really like Brendan, and he will definitely get another job, 100%. 100%. Cool.
If they sack him, I think they should do a car boot sale in January. Let's just get rid of all the players. So Maddison, Tillemans, let's just James Justin, Timothy Kasanga. Let's just do a car boot sale and sell them and give the new manager new players, bro. So hopefully we can get Tillemans in it and Maddison. Maybe we get both of them for like 30 mil, bro.
Nah. Newcastle
in the mix.
Newcastle was gonna have a say, but I think Newcastle want Maddison, so.
I'm talking about sacking managers. Let's just go straight into it, man. Your boy, my namesake Thomas. I can't believe they did that.
Tommy Tuchel.
Tommy Tuchel. I think when we jumped off the last episode we was having a little debate about Steve Cooper. We didn't even think Thomas Tuchel was going to get sacked, but obviously Ade predicted he was going to get sacked this season anyway. But I'm not sure whether did you think it was going to be this early or did you thought they was going to put a trigger later on?
To be honest, I didn't know how it was going to pan out, but I just thought I could see issues arising, and then from there it's just left to the management, right, for them to see how long they're willing to go. But it's new ownership. Yeah, they weren't trying to waste any time at all.
I was having an argument with my friend. Basically, he was basically saying that all those signings were not his signing, which I find it hard to believe because he's come out with I think in his interview was like Raheem was his first, his main target. So he must have had a say in a lot of those signings. If you look at the Ronaldo saga, for example, the report was that he didn't want him. They was going to leave the decision to the manager. He didn't want him. So my question to you guys is, why? The thing with the players abroad is that any manager can take them on and work with them, but why would you spend that much and then not giving them more than that? It's kind of like what's not the same thing. Kind of like the Nottingham Forest. You book 22 players. You're gonna expect you got to give the manager a bit of time, but why would you spend that much and not give him a bit more time? What do you guys thoughts on that?
You wanna go?
I don't know. I just think maybe the new owner was just like, bro, I'm not feeling this guy, bro. I think maybe just not feeling him. Obviously, through the whole transfer thing, because remember, the new owner was the one that was like, okay, cool, I'll go get the deals done, Nick. Tell me who you want, innit? That was the rumors we was hearing, innit?
Yeah.
And obviously, he's a massive Ronaldo fan, innit? He's like, and obviously, Tommy's probably said, I don't want Ronaldo, bro. That's not fitting into my plans. And maybe that might have hurt his ego. This guy's a billionaire, bro. This guy's got a lot of money, and he's got a lot of other people that's invested into the club as well.
Yeah.
So he's probably thinking, I don't know if I feel this, brother, you know? And they haven't started off great. You know what I'm saying? They ain't started off great. So he just said, instead of me sacking him after 18, 19 games, bro, get this guy out of here now, man. Get the hell out of here, bro. Let me go find my own manager with the players that I've brought in, and let the manager that I want play with these players, and we'll go from there. And I'll die on my own sword, innit? Rather than have someone who I'm not really feeling manage the club, and it's not really doing that good of a job since I've been here. So yeah, but I wasn't surprised by the sack. I don't know if it was maybe early, but I know the last episode, the last thing I said was the only reason why I'm pushing Chelsea to 6th and United to 5th is because I don't think Thomas Tuchel will be here by the end of the season. I think Ade said it as well, and I was like, yeah, I don't think that's probably the only reason why I can see Chelsea finishing 6th and not, because I don't think Thomas will be here till the end of the season. So when I saw it flash up, like, I don't know if it was the following day or maybe like the next week.
Yeah, I think it was
we
like
talked
the
about
following day.
following the day. It was literally the following day because we was talking about
But
it.
my reaction, if I was on TV, my reaction was different to how everyone else on TV was just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like,
I was just like, oh, it's happening.
I was just like,
yeah,
bro, I'm not shocked. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm not going to be here for the whole season anyway.
Yeah, I'm not shocked that he was sacked because I don't think when Ade mentioned it, I don't think any one of us disagreed that he wasn't going to get sacked. I think my thought was that they've got good players anyway, so the reason why I feel that they might still make top 4 is because all they have to do, the easy fix is just to sack the manager because they've got good players there. So if the manager's not getting them to play, you just replace him. That was my general thought.
The media was shocked though. The media was oh my
I didn't get it, bro. I didn't get it. Because I'm not gonna lie, obviously watching Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel, I'm not looking at Chelsea and thinking, right, they play some great football, you know. I'm not looking at them like that, especially how I want to see football. I don't look at Chelsea and think they played that well underneath Thomas. With the resources that he's got, for me personally, there should be a better output. And yes, they won the Champions League. So obviously, people could be like, they won the Champions League. All right, that's cool. But I'm talking about when you watch them week in, week out, are you watching Chelsea like that? You think, right, that's a top functioning, well-oiled machine. And I don't. And maybe because obviously he's always chopping and changing systems, players, playing Reece inside right, then Loftus-Cheek wide right, then Ziyech starts, then Ziyech don't start. And there's a lot going on down there, isn't it? So Todd Bowley, shout out to you, man.
For me, I actually think they play good football, but I just think their biggest issue is the transition. When they're transitioning that ball from like those midfielders to the attacker, that's where they struggle a lot. And that's they never seem to get it right. And as you said, he changes a lot. You're playing Havertz up as a false 9, and then Pulisic didn't end up being the player that we thought it was going to be. He wasn't playing. What's his name? Is it Egyptian Moroccan guy? Wasn't
Ziyech.
He wasn't playing Ziyech anymore. So it's like it just weren't consistent with his forward line, and then Warner weren't playing well. So I think that was their biggest problem, and that's what they should have just tried to address this season, coming into the season. But I just didn't think, it just didn't work well. Like I think because I think game like from like the defense to the midfielders, I think like they play great. Like the football, like, they keep the football very well. But it just transitioning that to the attackers and like creating chances. I think that was the biggest flaw. Whereas, as I said, the likes of Arsenal and City are doing that for fun. Even Liverpool don't play that kind of football, but as Ade say, Liverpool play that rock and roll football, so it still gets you on your feet and still gets you excited. Whereas with them, they're just
I don't know what they are.
I think they're so involved in keeping the ball so much. Yeah, they're not getting enough goals too. And then what was keeping them alive at some point last season was the defensive. Like defensively, they were doing well, but now you're shipping goals and you're not scoring the goals. So
that's a big issue.
That's a big issue.
I see them as solid. Like, if you'd asked me last season, I'd have said I see Chelsea as like a secure block. Right. If I just think of them randomly, ask me a word, I'll just think of them as secure. But actually, if I'm thinking of you secure, but you're shipping in goals, then what are you after that? Nothing.
Can I just ask you? Go on.
No, go on. No, I'm done. I'm done.
Can I just put this to you? Yeah, and obviously, I want the listeners to have their say on this. So you're Todd Bowley. You two are both Todd Bowley. You come into this club. Someone does a brief, and gives you a handover from what happened last season, and they tell you that you see this Thomas guy. He's the one that sanctioned the Lukaku deal. He wanted Lukaku. He wanted number 9. So we paid 100 mil for that guy. And he's the manager. He's the coach. He's with him in training ground every day. And you know what we ended up doing? We ended up loaning him back to the club that we bought him for 100 mil for. And he's probably not going to come back here. And that's the coach. And that was the manager. So he's not getting the best out of his players. So if you're Todd Bowley, you're saying, well, I'm just going to go spunk like a quarter billy this year, this window.
Yeah.
Are you saying that I'm gonna trust this guy with these players?
And that's what you like, you know what? He didn't get the best out of.
And Ziyech has come. So there's a lot of players that I play for Chelsea that you can say, has he really got the best out of these players? And you're Todd, and you're a new owner. you're like, you know what? Maybe I should go get someone else, man.
Because I spent a bit of money on this club.
Bro, I spent a lot of P. You know what? So wait, Ade and Tom, he should now go and spend all this money for Thomas to tell him at the end of this season they'll finish 5th with no trophy, and Thomas to say the players are rubbish. It's not me, it's them. Go and spend another 300 million. Trust me, I get the best out of them. Are you mad?
Yeah.
We're still running a business here, you know. As much as football is football, we're still running a business here. And it does not make any sense to spend 100 million on a striker and in a year, and it was even during the year. You lot watch football, you see it during the year. Lukaku was literally going like this.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I think you touched on earlier. I think because if you heard his interview about the All-Star games, and like, I think he thinks commercially with a lot, like with that Ronaldo, he was probably thinking commercial
100%
with that Ronaldo signing, and thinking if I'm going to spend this much money, let's bring some attraction into the club. And it probably hurt his ego for, I just said, someone that's a big fan of Ronaldo, knowing that not only I'm a big fan of him, he's also going to bring money into the club, and the manager saying no, and the manager's doing bullshit. So in his head, he's thinking, so I couldn't bring my favorite player into this club because you said no, and look what you're doing. He's probably hurt by then.
But you want me to get Aubameyang for you?
Yeah, you want me to get
smoking
Aubameyang
drugs. You're smoking drugs. You said no to arguably the greatest player in the world, but you said I should go and get Aubameyang.
God forgive me.
Are you still doing rubbish?
I was going to say, you probably said, no, I don't. Don't let me say it.
Don't get us cancelled, bro. Don't get us cancelled.
I know what Thomas was about to say. Yeah.
Don't let me say it. But it's to be fair, I had a feeling that he might get sacked, but yeah, so hey, he's gone anyway. So it's still, I think he's still a good manager, but it's just I think Chelsea was his opportunity to take it a step further. Like, there's still going to be, I know you want the Champions League, but there's still going to be that question mark over his head.
There's always bare hype, bro. There's bare hype because they'll say, oh, they won the Championship, the Club Cup, and the Super Cup. Bro, any Champions League team in Europe that wins the Champions League should automatically win all of those cups anyway. You might as well say it's one trophy. So the way they were screaming like he's one bear, that's
and they should be doing better in the league. They should be doing better in the league.
Exactly.
We almost caught up with them last season when we finished 5th and front of 24.
I think that's probably more
a couple points between them.
Yeah, that's probably more of a reason why they were sacking, because in their head they probably think it's kind of like our situation. They're not as bad as our situation, because the way that they the owners are going to see, or whoever is in charge is like, look, you was like, our next step was to get closer to Liverpool and see. Yeah, we won the Champions League. We spent money. We bought Lukaku. We want to start competing with them guys. But now they've taken that 2 to 3 step backwards, where they feel like, oh, we have to start back again, and we need to get a new manager to get like. I'm sure they're not going to put pressure on, like, we talk about Graham Porter in a second. They're not going to put pressure on him to make top 4, because they're going to think, you know what, we've taken a step backwards. So even if you just get closer to that top 4 mark, if you can get top 4, that'll be a massive achievement for us. But if you can't, we'll accept it. So and it's kind of like us when we sacked Ollie, like, which I thought was deceiving in a sense. When we were second, we bought all those, like the Ronaldo, the Sancho, because that was the next step to get you closer to, like, but it's not as easy as all these owners eventually think. You know what I'm saying? Like, that you might be second and the next step might not necessarily be the right step. Do you know what I mean? So spending like money to bring top players in, thinking, oh, that will get us closer, hasn't worked for us, hasn't worked for them. So but we'll see, innit? Like, who's gonna have a go at it next? Let's see whatever works for them. But yeah, but City has just been untouchable for a while, and that's probably going to continue for a bit. In terms of like our guy Graham, for me, it's taken, like, obviously this step, Brighton to City is a big step. Sorry, to Chelsea is a massive step. Yeah. But in terms of all the other steps he's taken in his career, I think he's got it just about right until now. So I'm not saying the Chelsea one's wrong, but obviously I would have preferred him to take another step before Chelsea. I would have preferred maybe like a West Ham. What Moyes was doing with West Ham for getting them close to Champions League before Everton, became a relegation team. Like the Everton that used to like compete for like the top.
Yeah,
6,
yeah, like a
7.
Leicester, them type of clubs.
Them type of clubs. So I would have loved them to get into one of those clubs. But I still think like there's no doubt he's a great coach. And this just boils down to what I've always said about when we went to appoint a new manager. I think it will be down to your personality. You're now dealing with big egos. Like Sterling, for example, it's like you heard his interview. Like his time at City, the last year or so, I see it wasn't great because he didn't think he thought he should be playing a lot more games. And obviously Pep didn't think that, but Pep is a big manager, is able to make those kind of decisions. It's not just him, it's the owners as well. If he feels like, look, I know we bought him for so-and-so amount, but I don't think I should be playing him. Are the owners going to back him? Can he still able to like handle the changing room despite all these players? You're going to have like the Cucurella and Chilwell. Obviously, Cucurella was your player, but if you drop one of them, how would you think, like, if one of them comes to your office and say, look, I think I should be playing more, how do you handle that? I think that's going to be his biggest problem. Like, we know like you can play good football. You've done that with Brighton. The way Brighton was playing, if we've always said if he had better players, he will do more. Now this season's obviously he's got better players now. So it's like there's going to be a lot of eyes on, there's going to be a lot of pressure. But I just think people shouldn't really expect much from him this season. I think they should just wait until next season. I think this season I wasn't a fan of like the formation they played against the Leipzig that they played. No, not Leipzig, it was Salzburg.
Was it Salzburg? Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure what he was trying with that. Like with Thiago in the middle, and he had Cucurella and Reece James.
Aspie plays centre back.
No, but
Aspie plays centre back.
No,
Aspie and Thiago play
but
centre
the
back
thing,
together.
if you watch the game, Reece
And
James
then Reece and Cucurella were fullbacks.
But no, Reece was you see Aspie playing as fullback sometimes, and Reece James was tucking in, so I wasn't too sure what was happening. I honestly wasn't too sure. And then Cucurella was bombing forward at one point. Then at one point I thought Sterling was playing
he was at a
wing
point,
back.
he was.
Yeah,
he
so
was.
I wasn't too sure what was happening. And for someone that's just taken up, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a big Graham Potter fan, innit? For someone that's just taken over a team, I just think you're making it far too complicated for these players. Like, just this is your first game, the first Champions League game, but just like they lost the first one, right? You need 3. Like, you want to pick up 3 points. I don't think this is the right time. Obviously, you won the game. You're not going to have this conversation, but it's not the right time to be trying something like that. Because I didn't even know what was going on at one point. I didn't, because you see Reece James tucking in alongside Thiago. Then all of a sudden, Reece James is playing the wing back position.
Bro, he don't care if you know what's going on. He don't care.
No, I understand that, but it's just like, it's your first game. Like, look, obviously, like, I'm a big fan. I'm not trying to make any judgment here at all, but I was just thinking, like, just make it easy your first game, like, because I really want him to do what at Chelsea. Because I've been a big fan of him for a long time, so I really hope that he can do well. But yeah, what did you guys thought on his appointment anyway?
I thought he shouldn't have gone, man. I thought he shouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
And I do this with players as well when we talk about players that have like a big season and then they move somewhere else. I'm like, I like that cementing your position, right? But I do understand for some people their football career is small or the opportunities aren't as often as you like. So he's probably thinking, let me grab this with both hands. It's come up, let me go. But I'd have liked to have seen him exhaust what he could with Brighton. Obviously, when we started, we're like, okay, the performances are there, the results aren't coming. But this season, the performances and the results were marrying up. I was thinking, I'd like to see him go as far as he can. One of those ones that they can't question his legacy there, right? They can't say, oh, he played good football, but he never got to an end of season and he took them into Europe or something like that. I'd have liked to have seen that, him cement like a European finish with those players playing his football, right? And then those are his credentials going forward, because now it's a bigger risk going to Chelsea, and hopefully he gets the time he deserves. But you're in the big leagues, top four's very competitive. Come January, February, they might be like, Graham, cheers. But now you don't have a job come end of season.
What, January, February? You
Nah,
reckon?
nah.
Yeah, no, I think
Bro,
obviously-
if they're struggling come February, March, like even though I wouldn't like them to, but what's gonna stop them? Like you're talking about big money. This American guy that's talking about more revenue, and if there's a chance they're not gonna make the Champions League,
yeah. That's the only concerning thing though, because all this guy is talking about is just like how we can bring more money in. Do you know what I mean? In his head, I've just spent over 300 mil. How am I gonna recruit this back? He's already given interviews trying to plot shit, things in people's heads about all-star games. Like, so yeah, for me with the Brighton situation, I'm not saying I heard what you're saying. I think that the European place would have cement like a legacy at Brighton, but I'm not sure whether it can take Brighton any further than that. Like, and especially
Ranieri took Leicester to the Premier League.
Yeah, I know.
With the team that almost got relegated the season before.
I know. But the thing is, especially with the way the Brighton fans treat them, booing them, despite like I don't know what they were. That you're booing them, booing the team when they was drawing games, and then what
fans are shitty. Once you start winning a few games, they get excited that they're better than they are.
And the thing with they don't spend money really like Brighton. They don't only like. They don't spend money like that. So I think it would have been quite hard for him. It would have been a great achievement, don't get me wrong. And as you said,
that's the reason why I think it's great.
Yeah. And that was a cement his legacy, but I'm not too sure how far he could take Brighton. And I'm with you. I think this might be just a step too forward, but at the same time, I can see why he's taking it. He's this opportunity might not come again. I think he spoke about it in an interview. He went to Sweden. He went to when he left. Like he had a family business with his wife. He left there, went to like the 3rd division there, worked his way from there to the Then it was Swansea took him. Like he played. The first time I spotted him was when they played Arsenal in the Champions League. Europa League. And then like they were playing same football. Like obviously I'm not saying it was good as Brighton. The football that you see Brighton playing. I forgot the black brother that I had up top that I was using all the time for like that was just throwing the ball to him. That's getting the ball to him all the time. I don't know his name. I thought, okay, cool. And then from there you move to Swansea. From Swansea you move to the Premier League. It's for him. It's like, would I ever get this opportunity again? Like, do you know what I mean? As someone that started like thinking about it from a late, well, it's not a late age, in his like 30s. He said he dedicated like 14, 15 years, he's saying, into that, from that when he went to Sweden. And he's reached 50, 50 now, whatever it is. In his head, they're probably thinking, you know what, if I flop, I flop, but I didn't work all my life not to take an opportunity like this. I didn't like leave my family business to go to Sweden for like a Chelsea to come to me and for me to now say no.
And he would have weighed it up. He would have weighed it up. It was like he would have
100%.
looked at the players they have and said, okay, can they implement the type of football I want to play?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, I like to be your sensible, because I could see myself as a manager turning down jobs. Right? If I see I'm about to enter pepper soup, I'll jam where I am.
But it depends what type of pepper soup it is. It might be goat meat or fish, bro.
It's true. If it's going to pay me off 20 mil, if I flop, then I'm going.
It's goat meat, pepper soup. I'm down, baby.
But yeah, so if he feels the players there can implement what he can do, and you have to back yourself at the end. And my view is just my view, right? It's my view with players as well.
Yeah.
I like players. You have a big season, you cement it. So it's just
I think when one of those like conversations where like there's no wrong answers, like no wrong views at this point. You know what I mean? Because like they're all valid points. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear what you're saying. I agree that I think it might just be a wrong time. But obviously we're not him in it, so he's got to make his own mind up. What are your thoughts, Aaron?
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it for Graham Potter. I thought as soon as they sacked Thomas Tuchel, I thought, well, bro, you gotta get Graham Potter in, innit? Because good. They play a brand of football that I like to see, innit? And I think whoever the owner is, you're thinking if you manage or own one of those top 6 clubs, that's how you really want to play football. If you're being deadly honest, if you're a City fan, you're a Liverpool fan, Arsenal fan, United fan, Tottenham and Chelsea. And that's why I'm disappointed of teams like Tottenham who don't play that way, because that's what their fans want to see. You pay your money to come and watch this type of brand of football. You're seeing Brighton do it with lesser players than the players that you have in your team. You're thinking, right, how are they able to do that? And it's through their manager. It's through the coaching. And so if you're a Chelsea fan and you see Graham Potter coming to your side, one, you know, okay, cool. Can he implement that brand of football? And two, if you're the owners, then you're not going to be an idiot and say, by January, February, if we ain't doing something, you're getting sacked. You can't do that because you've taken a whole different strategy now. You've gone from getting all the top managers, so now you're getting a manager who's not a proven manager. He's not a proven manager at top level football. He's not taken a top job before, so this is going to be his first job. So he has to be afforded time. And obviously, yes, they can't finish 17th and almost get relegated, but I don't think that will happen to Chelsea anyway with the caliber of players they got. But I think it's a good match. I think the players that they got, there's a nice blend with the ages, there's a nice blend of experience, who I think a lot of them will be willing to take on new ideas. If the new ideas, they can see it working on the training pitch and working in certain games. I think the likes of Kovacic, Jorginho, even Thiago Silva at his age, new ideas, new stuff, learn something. You want to learn as a human being, you just want to learn new things all the time anyway. It adds to your repertoire. And I think, you know, you got like a Cardi Chukwuemeka who come in who's 18. And I think Graham Potter will be great for someone like him. A Reece James, Graham Potter will be great for someone like him. So I think it's a good match. I think it's a good match. I like managers to be given time. And I like managers that are going to play exciting brand of football from front to back. And I think Graham Potter ticks those boxes. So I wish him all the best. I think he's made the right decision, because whether he flops or not, cool, don't worry. Someone at mid-table will take you, bro. Fine. Maybe Arsenal won't take you. Maybe United or the top clubs won't take you. But trust
It's
me,
still better than
don't worry. Leeds United
Stevie.
will come and get you, bro. Leeds
Still
United.
better than Stevie
yeah,
and
don't
Frank.
worry. Yeah, exactly. So you're all right, bro. You're all right, Graham, bro. Do your thing. Try and do something with Chelsea. And if you don't, cool. And if you do something with Chelsea and do really well, bro, England, you here, baby.
That's the next thing. That's
you
the
ready.
next,
You ready? Because we got to get that dinosaur Graham Southgate out of here. Love you. Thanks for the final. Thanks for the semi-final. But you got to get your ass out of here, B. You fuck it up.
Cool. We'll get to England in a bit. Yeah, no, I think, yeah, but I think there's valid points there too. You're saying, Ham, like just take it, see what happens, man. Like just some opportunities you just can't let go. And I think you gave like great examples before, like the Frank one. I mean, like maybe you shouldn't have taken the Chelsea job, because he's taken a different path in his career. Do you know what I mean? Like, look, you've only just worked at Derby, and now you want to go on a top four. You want to manage a team that's only been top four. But whereas with him, he's dedicated so much of his time to management and the way he plays football. He's almost like not perfected it, but we love the brand of football he plays with Brighton, with the likes, the caliber of players that we've got, that we know they're not as good as Chelsea players. Why can he not implement that? And for him, his head is, I might not get number one of this, boy. And if he does do well, we're all going to be singing his praises. If not, like, yeah, look, I don't think he will get I don't think he will get much backlash if he doesn't do well. People are just going to say that, yeah, Chelsea's job was too much for him. And for him, in the sense, like, oh, well, I've tried. Like, I've worked like so many years.
It'll be a valuable experience.
Yeah,
Whether he flops on, it'll be great experience for him.
It'll be great for him. But we'll see.
100%.
Cool. Just a quick one. I don't think we really need to touch on United in the Europa League.
Bunda, I don't care.
Yeah.
Well done, Ronaldo.
I'll forget the Europa League. So let's just quickly touch on the England squad. I'll be honest with you. For me, I'm not surprised. Like, I'm trying to think who all the players in that list. I'm not surprised about anyone in that list, because it's Gareth Southgate in it. Do you know what I mean? But he needs to stop picking. I don't know the amount of defenders he wants. Like, he needs to stop picking so much defenders in the team. It's getting out of hand now. Like, what's going on? Why do you need so much defenders? Why does he honestly need it? I don't know. But yeah, I'm not surprised about the squad. Is there anyone in there in particular? Obviously, like Ivan Toney, he's got the call up. I think he deserves that. I'm happy for him. The only other surprising people that might surprise others is maybe Eric Dyer. It's not surprising for me, because I know he's always liked Eric Dyer, and he's probably
played well this season.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably looked around like his normal centre backs this season. Like Stones, only played a few games. Right, he was injured for the first 2 or 3, whatever. Obviously, Harry's not playing, and he's thinking, and we know he doesn't really like Tomori anyway. He's probably thinking, yeah, might as well bring someone else in, and Eric Dyer's done right this season. So yeah, That's the only two surprising one for me. Apart from that, yeah, I'm not shocked. What about you guys? Are you shocked about any of it?
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't expecting any surprises. I wasn't thinking Maguire was going to sit at home. So it is what it is. He likes his players, and he's going to stick with them. Be quite interesting to see come World Cup who's going to be starting as centre back.
Yeah. The thing is, though, is that the guy he contradicts himself a lot at times, because you say that if you're not playing, you're not be able to, because that's basically what you were saying to like Sancho or Rashford before, right? You're not if you can't get into your team, then you won't be able to get into the England squad. Now Maguire and Luke Shaw can't get into the United team. Well, I'm not surprised about that. I'm just saying, like, he just contradicts himself a lot in it.
Well, then you've got someone like Ben White that's playing all the time in a winning team. So it's an interesting.
So that's the issue with him. Sometimes he just contradicts himself a lot. But yeah, what are your thoughts, Sam?
Guy's a dinosaur, man. Guy's a dinosaur, bro. We got like 100 defenders and like 5 centre mids, and one of them's Calvin Phillips, who gets injured every day. So who's about to go have shoulder surgery, or so only God knows who he's going to do to replace him.
That
but
hasn't
this
played as well.
Hasn't played, taking 4 right backs, make a flipping decision, bro. And if he's going to turn up, if he's not going to make a decision, then come out and say, cool, I don't see Kieran Trippier as a right back. I see him as a cover left back. And I don't look at Kyle Walker as a right back. He's my right centre back. Fair enough. Then we can break it down to, okay, we've only got 2 right backs in the squad, Reece James and Trent. Then all these centre backs that you're taking, Eric Dyer, Connor Cody. I like Connor Cody. Eric Dyer, I think is pants. And then we're not going to take Ben White, who Ben White can play right back and he can play centre back. Same way John Stones plays centre back and he can play right back. So you want players that are multifaceted, right? So it makes no sense to pick them and not pick Ben. Happy that he's picked for Tomori. He probably doesn't want to pick Tomori, but Tomori's playing well, he's doing his thing. But yeah, man, it's nonsense, bro. And then Jared Bowen gets picked. We like Jared Bowen, but Jared Bowen has not done a damn thing all season. Jack Grealish ain't done a damn thing all season. He scored the other day, but these men ain't doing nothing. Sanchez having a decent season. He ain't lighting up Old Trafford, but he's doing better than Jared Bowen and Jack Grealish. So we take Jadon Sancho because the ability that he has, them 2 is not better than him. If they're all the same level, if they're a level or 2 below him. So if they're not performing at their optimal level and he's not performing at his optimal level, but he's performing better than them, then we take him. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science, because no one's going to sit here and tell me Jared Bowen's a better footballer than Jadon Sancho. But if Jared Bowen isn't even playing at his optimal level, but Jadon is playing okay, then we take Jadon.
It's that Son Richarlison argument, right? Son is still good regardless, and we love him as a player. But if he's not on form at that point in time, you play somebody that is.
And like I keep, the level is not, you see, Gareth's blessed that the England squad, there's a lot of good players in it. So the level between, especially the front line, it's not a mad job. The only mad job is H to the other centre forwards, Tammy and Ivan and everyone else. Everyone else is pretty much level. Saka, Sancho, Rashford, Grealish, all them man there are pretty much levels. So it's an easy job for you. Oh, these 2 not playing well, these 2 are cool. You're coming in. You man gonna sit home. It's not that hard. He keeps getting it wrong all the time. And this, bro, if Mason Mount starts the World Cup, yeah, I'm not even watching it. I'm not watching if Mason Mount starts in the midfield and he pushes Phil out wide, or he plays 5 at the back and goes Mason, Jude, Deck, and Sterling, and Phil has to be on the bench. Bro, I tweeted this year, and shout out to the Twitter people, because I literally said Mason Mount's a decent player, yeah. I don't dislike Mason Mount, but I generally don't think Mason Mount is a better footballer than James Maddison. And James Maddison never gets picked for England. Overlooked all the time. No one has a better goal involvement than him. When you watch him play, you think, right, he's got swag, he can play, he can see a pass, left foot, right foot again. And Mason Mount is a good football player. Phil Foden and James Maddison are better than him, in my opinion. So they should be dead certs. And the fact that Maddison can't even get a call up when you're calling up Eric Dyer and you're calling up all these other men. Yeah. And Maddison is just sitting at home.
That's the nice thing about it.
Like, it's a joke, bro.
You're calling up 50 defenders. If you just give up Maddison, give him a call up. So that's the annoying thing.
It's a joke. The only thing he got right for me was Ivan Toney getting called up. Ivan Toney rightfully deserved to get called up. If we're gonna take 3 strikers to the World Cup, it's got to be Toney, Abraham, and H. Bro, that's the only thing he got right for me.
I can't lie to you, bro. Like, I don't want him to take our boys. Let Rashford and Sancho stay at home. Obviously, for them personally, they want to go for United. Like, I'm thinking of United. It's fine. Let them stay at home. Let the rest go.
Well, you know, Luke and Harry are going. Luke and Harry don't have to take another ball.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. They can go too. They can go.
They've already got their hotels booked.
They're already got their hotels booked. They can go.
And he never wants to rock the boat like you. Like, sorry, T, but
go on. Yeah,
Luke Shaw ain't playing football, bro. Rico Henry plays left back for Brentford. Give the brother a chance. You give Tyreek Mitchell a chance. You give Tyreek Mitchell a chance, and Tyreek Mitchell ain't levels, innit? We know Tyreek Mitchell ain't levels. So you got to give someone else a chance who's actually playing 90 minutes every week. Luke Shaw doesn't play football no more. My man just sits there and comes to training. He don't play football no more. So let's try and give someone that plays football a chance. I'm not saying you got to take him to the World Cup, but let's have a look at him in training. Let's have a look at him in his Nation League game and see if he's good. We looked at Tyreek Mitchell. He ain't levels. He's not getting called up anytime soon. All right? It's not fair, bro. It's not fair. It's not fair. Eze is good. Give my man a call up, bro. Stop calling 50 centre backs, man. Call up someone that's attractive, that's gonna commit defenders, that's gonna make us win a tournament that we've never won since 1966. We're not gonna win the tournament with 100 defenders, bro.
Well, that's Gareth for you, but I'm not surprised with it all anyway. So, like as I said, with him, if I'll be interested to see what the final. How many players can he take to the World Cup?
No, they've upped it. They've upped it to what is it? That's normally 23. But I think they upped it because of the season 26 now.
When you say 53, what is it?
89.
What is it?
No, I think it's 26. I think it's 26. Yeah,
It
because
used to be
it's
23.
It's supposed to be
but they've upped
23,
it. I
but
don't know
because I
what
think
the
because it's
number
the middle of the season, and where it's taking place, I think it upped it to 26.
All right, cool. Yeah,
But you know what that means, innit? Those 3 other spots are going to be defenders, bro. So Tom, get your boots on, bro. Get your boots on. You're all right back, Tom. Get your boots on.
Yeah, but then, that right back position is that.
And Jude is a dead cert. Jude is a dead starter. I don't want to see none of this. He's coming off the bench. Or, bro, Pedri starts for Spain. Okay. Musiala starts for Germany. That man at the same age. Okay. There's other ballers in Europe that are 18, 19. They start for their country.
I think
we don't have better midfielders than Jude. So Jude has to start.
We don't have any better at the moment. So I think it will start him. I think unless. Actually, he might not start him. Actually,
no, Jude has to start. Whether Calvin
Phillips start him,
starts or not, Jude is starting, bro.
I don't think he's gonna like thinking about it now. I think it will go with like his normal Calvin and Declan.
No. Jude is starting. Okay. You see Jude against Man City. You see Jude against Man City.
But Ham, what you're saying is different. He should start, and whether he does start,
mine is not should. Mine is not should. He is starting. I'm telling you.
Okay, so you're gonna go to Gareth and put a gun to his head and get him to start.
If we play 4-3-3, 5-4-1, whatever system we play, Jude Bellingham starts in the centre mid for us. Simple as. He's not coming off the bench. He's starting.
Okay, if you and Gareth have had that conversation, then cool.
Let's see what Gareth said. And it needs to sort out that right back position, to be honest, because all this 4 left back, like, I don't want to stop trying to. I'll be honest with you. I honestly think he's trying to appease Trent, bro. Because I don't think Trent is his first, and I don't think Trent is his second choice. I'm just like this is. I'm not saying Trent is not a good player, but I'm saying Trent is not Gareth's first or second. And I think he's just trying to appease him by keeping him in the squad.
Yeah, because I wouldn't play him against the big boys.
Stop doing
That's
that.
ultimately what you have to look at. Are you going to play him against the big boys? If not, then.
So for me, I think Trent. It should be Trent and Reece. I'll take Kyle too. Like,
no, Kyle's got to go.
Yeah, I'll take Kyle.
Kyle's got.
Yeah, I'll take Kyle. So I would.
Kyle's our insurance policy. Anything breaks down up there, Kyle's there.
So yeah, I'll take Kyle as well. I would like, but you can't. But to be honest, he should only be. I just think he's appeasing Trent, bro. I honestly think he is, man. Because as I said, he's not his first, he's not his second. You don't need 4 left back. You don't need to play. Stop trying to play thingy left back, man. What's his name?
Trips.
Yeah, Trippier left back.
But I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind Trips because Luke Shaw doesn't play football, so I don't mind Trips going as a second left back behind Chile. I don't mind that.
But Chile's not going to play football too, though. That's the problem, though.
Chile's playing more than Luke.
Both of our left backs.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I mean?
But we'll see. I guess we'll see in a couple of weeks.
We'll see
in a couple of weeks.
But hey, I think that's about it, boys. We got international again, but then I think once obviously international finishes, we've got a lot of games to get
Premier Europe all the way to the World Cup.
I think there's I think United, probably the same for Arsenal anyway. We've got 16 games from when we
all in the same competition. So
I think we've got 9 games in October.
It's crazy.
So,
which is crazy. Yeah. So from 16 games from when they return, 1st October to
straight to the World Cup. Yeah, straight to the World Cup. Yeah,
it's mad. That's mad. Yeah. So All right, then, people. Thanks for listening. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this with friends and family. And anything else we miss out, boys?
Top of the league, baby. Top of the league.
All right, I will end at that.
Sweet.
Peace.
Peace.